Welcome to another episode of the Players Ball Podcast for AT Aliens by AT Aliens. I'm your host, Alex the Great, joined by my brother from another, the beardless wonder, Matty Bombada, MB in the building, man. It's been 2 weeks. We had to let some things mellow, things simmer. You know, it's that great in between where we know football is back, but it's not yet real. So there were a couple of preseason games that we wanted to talk about. Obviously, we talked about a Netflix show. We haven't made it through the whole thing, but we can dive a little bit into that. A lot of football to be discussed today, but before we do, I wanted to hop in and talk about some other sports. Let's hit them highways and byways, man.
We got traffic incoming, covering all the biggest news in ATL sports, no matter the lane, no matter the highway. Let's get into it with Spaghetti Junction.
Coming down 85 South is another football that I'm ready for it to be over. I haven't
Football.
actually checked in a while, but there was an article that came across my phone within the last week. It's just how they're on a record-setting awful pace. They may have won since I last read that, but at the time they had not won in over a month. What are your thoughts on United right now, man?
I'm with I'm at the same place I'm with on the Braves. I'm done.
Yeah.
They're toast. They're 4-11-12 on the year.
Mm.
So they've only won 4 games. Pretty bad. They did win a a cup game recently against I think it was a Liga MX team, and there was discussion on the radio following that. Is this team poised to make a playoff push? And Ronnie Dyla, his comments were basically like, they need to win 10 straight. Well, they've they've turned around and not gotten a winning result since then. So it's not good year for United.
Yeah, they're in second to last place. They're in penultimate place. Not doing a whole lot better than DC. Same amount of wins, just a couple more draws, two to be exact. So yeah, nah, it's awful, man. And I would like to think that maybe United and the Braves are sacrificing for the greater good, right? But I don't know how lofty my expectations are for our other teams. I think they're high, but championship or bust. I'm not there with either one of our male squads. Before we pivot, let's talk about the Braves actually, because they went on a run, and as it stands, they are also 7-3 in their last 10 right now. But to your point, they have zero chance. I mean, there's a chance. There's a smidgen of a chance. They had to run off, I'm sure, a similar run that United would have had to, and they need a lot of people to lose as well. So they're not going to do anything. It was nice to see a little bit of life. They went 11-2 over a 13 game span, so that was good to see. I think what we can take out of that, there are some positives. One being, I think Michael Harris has been just fantastic. Drake Baldwin, he's been doing it pretty much all year when he's getting the ops, but he's been balling out. We have seen the return of Ronald Acuna, which is good. He doesn't need to play a whole lot, but it's good to see that he came back from that injury and he's able to play. There's another player, one of the pitchers that they had to find, a Ute. I can't think of his name.
A Ute? Now,
Yeah, youth.
oh, youth, not like a Utah Ute.
Oh no, not a
I,
Ute.
I
Not a
got I
Ute.
got college football on the brain, as you can see. Um, but it's Hurston Waldrop. He was drafted a couple
Yes.
years ago
Hurston.
out of the
Yes, sir.
University of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
He's been a bright spot. So I have a few bright spots, and that is probably my number one. My number two is Nacho Alvarez. You know, my guy, Austin Riley, has left a couple times this season with abdominal tightness or, abdominal core issues. He went and saw a specialist. I don't know what the diagnosis was. They thought maybe it could have been hernia related, but he had a procedure done. He's done for the season. So the bright spot there is Nacho Alvarez getting some time to kind of show what he's made of. And I think that's the same kind of sentiment I have with Hurston is they're getting opportunities, right? Like the season's cooked. You might as well get some of these young guys out there, get them some experience in the bigs and see what you have with them. See if they're going to be viable, options of your future. And the other thing is they have an opportunity to showcase what they have so that we could potentially trade them for pieces that are going to make a big difference in our future plans this offseason. So hopefully we hold on to both of those guys, but I could see a world where, they've played themselves into being trade bait, right? We are going to have to, I think, retool the entire rotation this offseason. Mostly the bullpen, but I don't know. I wouldn't rely on guys like Ronaldo Lopez, Grant Holmes. You don't even know what you're gonna get with Schwellenbach. If there's anything you can look to as maybe a glimpse into the future is Spencer Strider. You mentioned that we had gone on a nice run, right? We were, I think, 8-3 or 8-2. The only games we were losing were the ones that Spencer was starting pitcher, and the numbers were astronomically bad. Like the hard hit rate against him, every cybermetric there is were just awful. And I don't think it's that Spencer Strider is a bad pitcher. I don't think that his career is over. I just think returning from a UCL injury and have it coming off of surgery. He didn't get Tommy John, but coming off of that, injury, there's definitely been a drop off. We saw it with Ronnie the first time. He went down with his ACL. He needed a whole year to get right, and then his following season, he was an MVP. So I still have hope in Spencer, but those guys that are coming back off of injury, right? Like you don't know what you're going to get. I wouldn't put my future in them returning 100% to their pre-injury form.
Do you keep pitching him?
Spence? Yeah,
Strider.
He's pitching tonight. I think.
No, I'm saying, do you though? Like, is it?
Yeah, I think you have
Trying to
to.
shut him down?
No, I mean, I think he's got to work through some things, right? Like he's got to build that stamina and strength back up.
It's hard to do with the way he's performing, right? Like the last game that he pitched, gave up 10 hits, 7 runs in 3 innings, 2 Ks.
Well,
This game before that, 8 hits, 8 runs, 2 Ks in 4 innings. I mean, all of them have been bad. You made that point. And maybe he's just not healthy enough to be going right now.
so he's pitching tonight. He's through 4 as we speak. He's got 1 K and only allowed 2 hits. So
That single K is alarming for me, though.
it is
Right.
because of what Spencer Strider is at his best, but I think he's got to work through some stuff. I don't think he's going to get better by not pitching. And I mean, what do you have to lose at this point? throwing him out there.
His confidence, man. You get to baseball is probably the only sport that I hear about the yips talked about on a regular basis. If his confidence is just absolutely blown, will we ever get the same pitcher back? Because maybe some of his stuff is just gone, or maybe it's slowly, that recovery is taking longer than anyone anticipated, and that they shouldn't be out there, at least not against the best of the best, right? Bump him down to minors, or is that a bigger blow to his confidence? I don't know. It for the injury that he had, that he was shut down a full year, and then to see him not performing at his usual self, I wouldn't mind shutting Spencer Strider down.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see where you're coming from, but to your point as well, like, what is the bigger blow to your confidence? I know me personally, if my manager came and basically told me that they didn't think I was suitable to do my job, I would lose confidence, right? Versus my manager coming to me and saying, like, look, I know you're going through a hard time, but we've got all the confidence that you're going to work this thing out, and whatever you need, we got you.
I feel like that's what old loose leash has probably been saying.
Yeah, but then it's on Spencer to be real with himself and figure out what he needs, and go through the process and get right.
I may save him from himself, right? Instead of continuing to have these blows to his confidence, maybe tonight. I mean, he don't look like he's turning nothing around. Seems like the Marlins bats are just cold, right? but,
Hey, it
but
still
I
could
don't
be a
know.
boost to him.
Yeah. The other guy was, and then I seen in his last game he didn't do as well, was Wentz. He's not a youth, but he had a couple of good outings.
Yeah.
I just want to see something shake up next year, man. I don't want, and maybe that's unfair because we haven't had a complete team all year, right? But even Jerickson Profar, he's been playing some good ball too. Now, does he fall into the trade bait situation that you're talking about, right? Um, but I don't want to go into next year, not even with the exact same team, but doing the exact same thing, right? I still want a new manager. I want Snit to retire. This is what you wanted, right? We wanted to get him to the end of the season for him to bow out gracefully. I think we need new blood in the manager seat. Um, I don't know who that is. I don't have a solution for it, but I think we should put old Snit out to pasture, let that man start his golf career or whatever retired managers do. I know a lot of them golf already. Um, maybe he can form an ownership group and buy the team and be able to impart some wisdom and grace into that, man. But I don't. I want him gone. Um, and I'd like to see something different. Like if we have, this is a reach because I do want Spencer Strider to still be a starter. But like if we have a Spencer Strider caliber player, one that's giving us some good innings, but not giving us that same level of stuff, I would love to see them do some closing work. Right. He's a little young in his career to be doing that, but John Smoltz transitioned in his later years, so maybe there's somebody that kind of fits that mold. I don't know. That's all I got to really say about the Braves, man. I don't want to start the next year at the same level, doing the same things as we did this year. Just blind optimism. I want to see that there's been changes to the things that they're doing.
Yeah, I'm with you, and it's honestly what was frustrating to me coming into the season, right? Like, I just felt like we sat on our hands. The
Hmm.
Jerickson Profar move was pretty much it. Um,
Yeah.
we walked into the season pretty much with the same roster minus a couple pieces, but we didn't really add anything of value in return. So I didn't feel great about it. I knew our lineup on paper should we should be one of the best teams in baseball, but we hadn't really proven that consistently over the last 2 years. So I'm with you. I want to see change. Before we completely get rid of the Braves as a whole topic, you brought up Michael Harris and his absolute crazy August, really.
My brother been going crazy. He's been going absolutely nuts. Yeah.
He in the over the course of a month basically raised his batting average by almost um
50
oh
points.
yeah 50, which is insane considering how many at bats he's already had this season.
Yeah.
um and I did see a couple things where they kind of broke down some changes that he made and how essentially his batting stance has kind of reverted back to where he was when he first entered the league in terms of like where he's holding his bat, like how he's standing in the
Hmm.
box. But I saw a quote where he shouted out Chipper Jones specifically in working with him to get right, and it's this thing that over the years Chipper has been very outspoken on like his approach to baseball. And when he was working with the team, I'm pretty sure was the year where we led the league in home runs and were um, basically one of the best offenses in the league. And he's kind of since been kind of pushed aside. Like he still does stuff with the team, but not on the same level. And I'm like, you have a guy with a proven track record that is a lifetime Brave Hall of Famer. I don't know that he wants it, but I would love to see him be a more staple part of this franchise with these young guys, working with either, hitters, as a manager. He managed one of the teams during the All Star weekend. I think it was like the futures team or one of those, right?
Mm,
And
yeah.
they flat out asked him if he would ever be a manager, and he kind of like danced around the subject, but in short, he said he doesn't think he could give the commitment because he still wants to spend time with his family and his kids, and that's something he would have to sacrifice as being a manager. But I just wonder if there would be ever a world where you could convince him to be that guy, because I'd love to see it, even if it's an experiment.
You pointed me down that road of finding that there's a video where he talks about, or an article where he's quoted as saying, "Yeah, I had a deal with my wife when I walked away. I wasn't going to go back to baseball in a full time capacity because I had been away from the family for so many years." Um, but I just did a quick little Google. I mean, his kids ain't that young, man. Maybe another year or two. Oh no, he just started another kid,
Yeah,
kinda. So
he has kids with multiple wives.
he has a son that was born in 2018 through his current wife.
I mean, that's
Hmm.
7.
That was the year he was inducted into. Yeah, but that's another 10 years, presence at a minimum, right?
Homeschool and bring them with you.
Yeah, there you go. So his first wife, he had 4 kids, and they're all of like his youngest kid from his first wife is 20 years old.
Yeah.
Man, young Cooper. Cooper Jones, man. Well, I will leave that there. I ain't gonna say nothing crazy because I want to, man. But yeah, I mean I understand that. Like, I wouldn't there if I had to go full time like on the road in my current career. I probably wouldn't do it.
But he's in a place in his life where, you can bring him with you. But your family would have to be, you know, all in with you on that, right?
Yeah. Now, if this his second family, maybe they are, man. 7-year-old and just a wife.
Yeah, we'll
I
see.
wouldn't imagine Taylor Higgins is doing a whole lot of working now. I'm going in the area I shouldn't be in, but what's she doing? You know what I mean? Can she just come on the road and be the homeschooler? I would love to see Chipper as our skipper,
Yeah,
Skipper Chipper. Um, I don't know. We'll never say never. We'll see.
put it out there in the universe and see what happens.
Yeah, yeah, we shall. All right, well, we spent more time on the Braves than I thought we would. Another highway, man. The Atlanta Dream making a playoff push, so they're in second place in the WNBA right now, in the W as they call it, so affectionately named at this point. And I want to call out the key to our success, and her name is Alicia Gray. She's a hooper through and through, and I didn't know her before she was on the Dream. So let's start there. Just kind of give you her accolades. She was Rookie of the Year in 2017. She just wasn't on our team. So she was, and before she was Rookie of the Year, she was NCAA champion with South Carolina. So she was coached by the incomparable Don Staley. Uh, she was a Gamecock, and then she went on to win Rookie of the Year in 2017. She's had 3 All-Star berths. 2 have been this year and last year. Olympic gold medalist, right? She won 2020 in the inaugural 3-on-3. So, I mean, shame on me for not really knowing a whole lot about her and knowing that she was going to come here and do these great things because I didn't know. But she's a hooper, man. I thought it was still gonna be our. She's not a rookie anymore. Ryan Thomas, Ryan Howard. I thought it was gonna be her team, and she's still a heavy contributor. But Alicia Gray is the engine that makes the car go. And shout out to her because she's about to push us to the playoffs, man. So I wanted to call out the dream and see if I can interest you in potentially getting down to College Park or it'll probably be a State Farm, but getting down to College Park for a game, man. Either a game or a playoff game at State Farm.
Definitely more enticed to go to a playoff game than just a regular season affair. So we'll have to circle that wagon when that time comes.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, we should have 2 playoff basketball teams this year, which is good. But I don't know if I have aspirations of the Hawks winning the championship. I can be crazy and say the Dream can win it because I don't know enough about the other opponents. but But yeah, I'm pulling for them. So dream like the Flyer, man. Let's get the. I think they got a Phoenix jersey like the United have. The Resurgence colorway. So let's light that fire, man. Let's get up out of here and get a chip for the A.
Yeah,
We'll love you forever. You'll never be ignored again.
until you have a ten
A season like
year
United.
10-year run of nothing.
Yeah.
But that,
We'll love you for a long time, not
yeah,
forever. You do have to earn the forever love, but we'll love you for a long time.
there is another program that has national championship aspirations or championship aspirations that kicks off this weekend. That's the Georgia Bulldogs getting ready to host Marshall on Saturday. But before they kick off on Saturday, we do get a interesting matchup with another statewide school. That would be the Rambling Wreck from Georgia Tech, traveling to Boulder, Colorado to play the Deion Sanders led Buffaloes on Friday night. Definitely going to tune into that game. It will be interesting to see what the squad looks like post Travis Hunter and the Sanders brothers. And there is a potential, I don't know that they've named a starter yet, but a Julian Juju Lewis, Carrollton Georgia native, was one of the top high school prospects coming out of school last year. Did commit to the Buffs and could be a freshman starter for them this year. So, a couple interesting headlines going into the weekend.
Yeah, man. That's my home versus my heart right there, man. You know, I signed on to the Buffs bandwagon, man. I jumped on, and I feel obligated to ride the train at least one more year without the Sanders boys being there. So, yeah, I'm gonna watch them. That's tough because I do want to see. I think Dion's success is bigger for me than Georgia Tech's, right? They've seen the mountaintop, so to speak, before. Um, Go Buffs, baby! No, I'm not gonna
I,
say that.
I honestly
On
think
the
Georgia Tech has a sizable advantage going into this game. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out, but Haynes King is the real deal at quarterback. They got a
yeah, he
lot
is.
of returning um, guys from last year's team, which was very productive. Probably out um, outplayed what many analysts thought they would do on the
Mhm.
year, and they've got a lot of aspirations. I think they're legitimately shooting for an ACC championship or championship berth potentially. I think Clemson still probably is the cream of the crop in the ACC, but you know, stranger things have happened, and Georgia Tech has a lot to look forward to this year. So yeah,
And they don't play Miami. I'm looking at their schedule now. That was the other ACC team that I thought about. Like when I was thinking about the championship, I was thinking Clemson versus Miami. Um, Especially with your boy down there. Oh, that's something else we could. That's the other part that we could talk very briefly about when we get to the NFL. But the tickets went on sale for the great hate debate. What do y'all call that game? The UGA versus
good
Georgia
old
Tech.
fashioned hate.
Good old fashioned hate. Yeah, man. November 28th down at the Benz. Um, that might be an interesting watch, man. If Georgia Tech is still playing some meaningful football at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I think
They
anytime
lost to
those
Georgia.
anytime those two teams square off, it's a bloodbath. Um, it being on a neutral site is something really unique. This is the first time that I know of in my lifetime that they have faced off at a neutral site, and I think they're kicking this Mercedes Benz rivalry game off this year, but I believe they have plans to extend it at least for the next few years. So
So
it's
it'll be a Georgia home game as well at some point because this is considered Georgia Tech's home game, right?
yeah, it will. But I mean, you're just flipping sides of the field. It's
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I didn't know if they were taking it away from Bobby Dodd and they're gonna return to Athens when it's Georgia's home game. So they'll be down there for that as well.
I believe so. Next year, yeah, they'll still be at the bins.
Okay, that's good to know.
But yeah, I mean, before we hop into the next one, college football did kick off this past weekend. There were a couple games. There's one in Ireland. Nothing real big, but it was just in general, it was good to have football back in some meaningful games. It's hard to say meaningful in the first, week 0, week 1 of the college football season,
Yeah, week 0.
which is such a stupid name. We could have a whole debate on that.
Yeah,
Um,
it's dumb.
but there are two really big time matchups. I say two. On paper, there's two really big time matchups. I think one of them is for sure a big timer, and that's Texas traveling to Ohio State to
Mm.
play in the shoe on Saturday at noon, and then the other one on paper is Alabama, Florida State. Two, storied programs. Florida State was awful last year. They're looking to get back into the fold. And then Alabama, for their standards, were down last year. I think they were only like a 2 or 3 loss team, which is a far cry from like the 3-win team that FSU was last year. But just the tradition of those two programs, it ought to be a good game. It may not turn out to be one on the field, but those are two other ones I'm keying in on.
Yeah, it looks like the Dogs kick off at 3:30. I ain't got no plans, man. I can make some time to watch them. What time is the
Texas is at noon. Texas, Ohio State's at noon. I do
big
not.
noon kickoff? Huh?
Yeah, I don't know about the Bama FSU game. I imagine that's a night game.
No, same time,
Mm.
3:30.
So I wonder what the prime time game is of the week. Oh, well. Spencer Strider has given up an earned run. It's 0-1 in the 6th.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not terrible. But anyways, there's another
Football's back.
one we need to get to.
Yeah, man, we're supposed to go to a. Oh yeah, hoodoo.
From the gridiron to the hardwood, you know you got to keep your eyes on the birds. Let's talk Hawks. Let's talk Falcons. This is hootie hoo.
Lot of Falcons movement going on, man. I'm excited for the season, and we want to give you our predictions for the schedule. We're gonna walk through that. Before we do, let's just flip it a little bit. We did have the news about Caleb McGarry going down, and prior to him going down, the backup right
Storm.
tackle was Storm Norton was already hurt. Before we start our predictions, how does that impact your predictions? Are you changing it at all as far as your
100%.
win losses?
100%.
Mm.
Unfortunately.
So Carlos approached me and he's like, "Yeah, man, Super Bowl aspirations. You done lost your mind." How far down are you saying?
I mean, I wanna hold on to some of it for our predictions because
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I'll hold on to it until we get into our predictions. But just to fill those that may not know, the details. So Storm Norton had ankle surgery. He's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks, I believe. Caleb, leg injury. Raheem said significant time, whatever significant time means. So Elijah Wilkinson will be the starter. Now, I will say on the positive end, he's played in 79 games and he started 45. He was an undrafted player out of the 2017 draft. This is his fourth. He's been with the Falcons before, but he's been on 4 teams throughout his 7-year career. So kind of a journeyman. But yeah, so that's kind of the situation we're in.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I think we find a way. I'm not gonna temper my expectations. My expectations will remain that we win a playoff game. And with that, man, so let's go through the weeks. You want to go first?
Yeah, so let's go game by game. I'll give you mine and you give me yours, and I'll keep tally. So week 1, home game against the Bucks, division rival. Now, Jameis is no longer there. He's in New York. but they do have what's my man's name from Oklahoma?
Baker.
Baker.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield. Thank you. Going in before injuries, I had this game as more of a toss up, probably leaning in our favor. However, with the injuries and the fact that none of our starters, like significant starters, got any kind of preseason action, I'm going to have to go with an opening game loss for the second, maybe third, maybe fourth straight season.
We defeated the Buccaneers twice handedly last year. I think we do that again. And they're without Chris Godwin. I did just confirm. I know he was making an earlier than expected return, but it won't be for week 1. I had to trust in Raheem. There was a very it felt like it was getting a bit contentious, a little back and forth between him and the Orlando Ledbetter. Did you hear about that?
Mm-mm.
You gotta go check it out. He asked why he was trying to be political about it and not say Penix at first. He's saying starters. He's like, and then he talked about, okay, well, what about the young guys? He's like, yeah, the rookies we drafted, they played significant time. Um, and at that point, the Orlando Ledbetter said that he was being dodgy. And he's like, I ain't being dodgy. And he smiled and he laughed, but you could tell he was forcing that. Like he was getting upset. Like, look, I'm coaching this team. He said, you need to go cover Washington. Because he mentioned Jaden Daniels. But I thought it was a fair question. You know my stance. I wanted Michael Penix to play. So I understand your rationale. And I won't get behind it because I'm gonna say a W, but I definitely understand why you feel the way you feel.
Yeah, I didn't see that exact exchange, but I did hear clips of Raheem being asked specifically about not playing starters and him talk about injuries, and it's like you're playing football, you can get injured, in practice, and
Like Caleb McGarry.
there you go. Okay, so week 2, we're away at Minnesota. I have a W here. We lost to them last year, but they are starting a rookie-ish quarterback, right? JJ McCarthy didn't play last year because of injury.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a true rookie this year, but he is a first-time starter in the NFL. He did have a decent preseason. I still am not a JJ McCarthy super fan. So I do think we go up to Minnesota and avenge that loss from last year, which was pretty ugly, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they do have some weapons.
Our no, yeah, some of the best. Jordan Addison is a dog, right? Not even talking about just JJ. Uh, I'm gonna go W. I'm gonna cite a similar reason, JJ McCarthy, but I want to specifically say I think our pass rush is gonna get off to a hot start, man. If there's anything that we did in the offseason, I think Terry Cook, he did all that he could in the offseason to make sure we have a pass rush. If they can get to a young rookie, not a rookie, but a young first time starter and have him frazzled, I think that bodes well for us. And our offense should be better. Kirk was he was right into his funk when we played Minnesota. And he was going through a lot of things, right? Returning to a place that he had been for like 7, 8 years. So yeah, I think we come out better as an offense and a defense. We were in that game for most of the first half, and then third quarter they just busted open, and we couldn't recover. So yeah, I'm 2-0 right now.
All right, so week 3, still away, this time at Carolina. You know, one thing that you've pointed out, and I mean, we've seen it for years. Mobile quarterbacks can kind of be a kryptonite for our defense. Bryce Young, he really kind of turned things around at the end of last year. Even in the first game we played against him last year, he made some really nice plays. Ultimately, we win that game at home, and then we went on the road and played against them with was it
Phoenix.
no, who was starting for them? It wasn't Bryce Young. Was it
Yeah, maybe it was Andy Dalton,
Andy Dalton? Um,
the Red Rifle.
yeah, so I mean this one's kind of I think a toss up. I think this one could go either way. I still think Carolina is probably the bottom. Well, towards the bottom. They're definitely better
Yeah.
than the Saints with their quarterback situation down there. But I still think we go to Carolina and get the dub.
I'm gonna go a loss
Mm.
to Carolina at their house, and the reason why is because I think going 6-0 in the division is improbable. So if there's any loss that I'm gonna give, I wanna beat Tampa both times to be the division winner. I think if we let one slip early to the Panthers, that should motivate us to continue throughout the season. Um, and they have a lot of unknowns, right? They're McMillan with he's a big receiver. He's a dog. Uh, Chuba Hubbard really picked up steam at the end of last year. So if they come out hot, I think they may catch us off guard. So I'm gonna go a L in week 3 to at Carolina.
All right, week 4 we get a rematch of a game that was at the end of last year, went into overtime. We never even got to touch the ball. But we ended that game in a loss to the Washington Commanders. This year we get them at home, and I think the outcome's the same. Unfortunately, I just I don't know that last year like it was a shootout, right? It was Michael Penix having to throw a touchdown pass in the final seconds to Kyle Pitts to tie the game and send it to overtime. But we had no answers for them defensively. Uh, and then offensively, I still think, I mean, to expect our production to be what it was or what we even expected coming into the season with a healthy roster, I don't think we can do that, right? Like something's going to have to take a step back. I think it's going to be, the offense. And for that reason, I don't think we win a shootout against Washington.
We're gonna win it, and I think we're gonna win it handedly. Um, they did get the Terry McLaurin business done, so he will be on the field, but he did not have an off season. I know this is week 4, but he needed to really. I think they really needed to establish that rapport with Jaden Daniels. The off season is very valuable, right? I think we get some get back on them with the chance to see them in the playoffs. I'm 3-1, baby.
All right, so week 5 we got the bye, which in my opinion kind of sucks. Having a bye that early,
Slow early.
but it is what it is. Maybe it will help us in this case because we have those injuries going into the season, and on the positive side, they're not season ending, right? Like we expect to get those guys back, so getting them back
Yeah.
without it being too significant of a blow, like losing us 5 games, that might be a blessing in disguise. But going into week 6, we get Buffalo at home. Josh Allen, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I mean, they have Super Bowl aspirations, right? Like they're a Super Bowl or bust team. It is at home in the Benz, but I think the Buffalo, I think they take it.
Yeah, I give Buffalo the win here. It's a Monday night game, prime time. Um, I think we're in it, but I just don't think we win it. For call me a negative Nancy, I just don't have a good feeling about it. They are a really good football team. It's gonna be nice to see Josh Allen in person.
Yeah.
He is a dog, but
If
yeah, I think we lose that one. They should have Super Bowl aspirations.
you need anyone to go with you to that game, I'm available. uh
But shameless plug, Demo. Appreciate you watching, man. One of our favorite subscribers and close friends. Um, I'll give this game to you. You good, sir. And we're gonna have you on soon, man.
Week 7 away at San Fran. I'm gonna let you go
A
first
win.
here. A
Yeah,
win,
that's
just
that's a
like that.
win for me. Um, they don't have Debo Samuel. I'm not a huge believer in Brock Purdy. CMC, we shall see which one we get this year. He is an absolute monster, right? But that is contingent upon him being on the field, and that his availability has not been great. Um, Now he was working out with Bijan this year, so if he's on the field, he's gonna be a problem. But I should say Bijan was working out with him. Let's keep it a bug, right? CMC is still one of the best running backs in the league when he's on the field. But I think the Niners window has closed. Um, it was more than just Debo Samuel that they lost, but that's my rationale. I think they lost him, and obviously they still got Kittle, who's a dog. But now I'm gonna get that a win.
I'm gonna go there with you, even though I do think George Kittle is a matchup nightmare. I think linebacker is probably one of our weaker positions, and a lot of times your tight ends get matched up against linebackers. I mean, against a corner, that's a even more of a mismatch.
I'm
But
thinking Jesse Bates, and I'm not sure who's going to start on the other side. I don't know if it's going to be Xavier Watts, but there'll be a safety that have something to say about George Kittle. He's going to probably be their most productive offensive player, but I don't think he's going to win in the game. It won't be enough.
So week 8, we get Miami at home. A little bit of
Hmm.
Tua Tagovailoa action.
Down at South Beach.
Yeah, I saw something
Or
to
no, it's at us.
it's
It's at our house.
it's
Yeah.
in the bins. Um, I saw something today that Jalen Waddle was hurt. He was gonna miss the opener. So I don't know how significant that injury is. It sounds like they don't expect him to miss extended time. So unless something happens between now and then, likely he would be back. I don't know that matters though. I still think this is a W for us. I
Um.
do know their defense is pretty stout.
So they lost Jalen Ramsey. He signed with Pittsburgh, so that means that Mike or Drake London is gonna be that much more impactful. I'm gonna go win, but I think this is gonna be a closer one than people think. Early season Dolphins are still a problem, right? They're super fast and they're hard to get a hand of.
Yeah, I mean at this point we're closer to midseason than we are at the beginning. So you're in
Yeah,
midseason
season,
Dolphin form.
which is decent.
Yeah.
They just can't close.
All right, so then we have New England away.
Win.
Yeah, win without question.
I won't call it Super Bowl revenge, but it'll feel nice to beat them.
I don't even think we need to talk too much about them. I mean, I still think they're
They
trying
got
to.
some good pieces. They got better.
They did
I
get
think they got
better.
better. I may end up drafting their running back in fantasy
Ramondre.
football. Yeah.
All right, then we got Indy uh away, so in Indianapolis. I'm
It's
going.
in Berlin.
Oh, it's an away game in
It is their
Berlin.
game.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna go a W here too. I think they got too many question marks at quarterback. Uh, they don't have a great receiver core. I do like my boy Adonai Mitchell. He played for Texas, but by way of Georgia. I was part of the two national championship teams. So, but all in all, I mean, it's Jonathan Taylor, and that's about it.
We're overdue an international win. So I'm saying Falcons. The Colts, they're gonna be trash. They're dumpster fire. They don't even know who their quarterback is. They drafted Anthony Richardson so high, and now they're benching him for Daniel Jones, right? Shows they don't know. The whoever's driving that ship doesn't really know what they're doing. So we should definitely beat the Colts.
All right, then we get Carolina at home in week 11. I think we get take an L here. I think I might have those two games flip-flopped, but I definitely think we split with Carolina this year. I
Yeah, I got a split, but I'm home and home. So yeah, I think we win this one.
week 12 against the New Orleans Saints.
We should have 2 late season wins because we play the Saints week 12 and we play them again in 18. So at the Saints, I think we beat them.
I think we do too. I just think they're a terrible team.
You know, there was a trade that I told you came up. It was like one of those every trade a team should make, and they were talking about sending Kirk Cousins to the Saints. Would you do that?
Absolutely freaking not. Especially not for a 5th round pick.
No chance in hell I would do that. Yeah, there's no way at all. I need a first, and then I still tempted to not do it until after the season.
Why
right?
would you give your division rival a franchise caliber starting quarterback? Why?
No, you don't.
You
You
don't.
don't.
You don't. I don't
Yeah.
care if they offer
There's
you the next
a
4 first round picks. You're just
what about for Chris Olave?
and what else?
Ooh, Chris Olave, cold man. Put
He
him next to
is.
Drake London.
But it would take more than just Chris Olave.
Yeah,
I
that
think
probably him and a pick. I'd do it,
I think they
or him and they pay all his contract. I may do it.
they give us Olave, they give us a pick, and they rename the stadium to the Falcons Nest or something, and then
They would
maybe
never.
yeah
They'd rather to flood that entire city. That's
yeah.
bad taste. No, that's not what I meant. Nah, they would get rid of the football team if they do anything remotely related to compliment the Falcons, man. I told you all the smoke I got when I was down there.
Yeah.
Terea wore a
I
Saints
saw it.
jersey.
I almost commented, but
Yeah,
I
she wore
can't
a
be
Saints
starting
jersey.
fights with my buddies' wives like that.
Yeah, nah, Carlos doesn't hold back, but he didn't have to do anything this time because she caught some smoke from some other fans, so it was good to let her know where she was at.
All right. Week 13 away at the Jets. I
Yeah,
I think the Jets are still terrible.
yeah, that's a win.
I got a W.
And we should have a insider. We had inside knowledge. You know, Jeff Ulbrich was their head coach for a couple of games and defensive coordinator for the rest. I'm sure they changed some things up, but he knows the personnel very well. So W at the Jets.
Yeah. And then week 14, home game against Seattle.
I need that one. I need that to be a win. The way they came in our crib last year, and DK was out here punishing AJ Terrell, and I mean he is like that, right? But that was just an embarrassing game for us.
They
I need
got
that win.
Sam Darnold probably starting. He had a great year last year, but he had
Mhm.
some weapons, right? We already talked about Jordan Addison. Kenneth Walker has been a pretty, good running back in this league. But they lost DK, right? DK went to Pittsburgh. I don't see. I mean, Jackson Smith in Jigba
He's good.
is a good receiver, but beyond him, I don't really see anybody on the offensive side that scares me. Well, I mean they got Cooper
Cooper
Cup.
Cup. Yeah, I was about to say that's a big time acquisition. Coming off an injury, he's got something to prove. Being let go the way he did, I'm sure he's gonna come out in a vengeance.
I feel like Seattle just tends to have our number. So I'm gonna still give us the dub.
Yeah,
We're
I'm gonna
taking
win
the
there.
dub. All right, and then we go week 15 away at Tampa Bay.
I'm gonna win there as well.
I'm gonna take a loss. We beat them both times last year. Both were crazy games, crazy finishes. I think they get us back this year.
I think the presence of a pass rush. He's a great quarterback, but he's not as mobile as like the most mobile quarterbacks in the league. If we can get him to the ground, I think we can rattle his cage, and I think we will in both of those games.
We leave Tampa and go away to Arizona.
Probably surprise you, but I think this one is a loss.
Really? I'm curious
Yeah.
what your logic is.
So, one in Arizona. I just remember losses there. I know we haven't dealt well with them playing there. Um, I remember Matt Ryan's rookie year is the one that comes to mind, but that's not our most recent loss there. But Matt Ryan's rookie year, we lost in the playoffs to them out there. And I really do think that they're going to have a bit of a resurgence. They have one of the best tight ends in the league. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be much better this year. Going to be what people expected in his rookie year. They got new. I think they hired a new head coach. I honestly think that they're probably going to be fighting for the division with the Rams.
You've
If
always
the
been a
Rams, Kyler,
Kyler Murray fan, and I know
yeah,
Marvin Harrison was like your favorite all-time player. So I'm not surprised with the.
I haven't given us a ton of losses either. So we need. I mean, I got to be somewhat realistic. I think that's a lot of traveling to do, man.
Yeah, it's very interesting as we look through the schedule. We don't really see very many weeks where we get back-to-back home games. We have a lot of weeks where we're at home, then we're away, then we're at home, and then we're away for 2 weeks, and then we're at home again. Kind of weird way the schedule lines up this year. But I'm gonna go W. I'm not
Yeah.
a Kyler Murray fan. I do think uh, Marvin Harrison Jr. is gonna have a good year. But I think we get this one done. So we leave Arizona, we come home, finish off the season at home. We got 2 weeks, Rams and then Saints. Let's just hit them both.
So that Rams is a Monday night game. I think that will have playoff implications because I think the Rams are still the leader of that division. I've pretty much wrote the Niners off. Not to say that they're going to be bottom dwellers of the NFC, but I think they're going to be towards the bottom of their division. I think we lose that one.
I think we win. I kind of see the end of this season. You know, I have us taking that loss to Tampa. But then I think we finish out the season strong, getting the W in Arizona, following it up with another win at home against the Rams, and then polish it off with a W against the Saints at home.
Yeah, I think we close with a win against the Aints when they come back to the city. The thing about the Rams that I want to put an asterisk by is that it's if Matt Stafford is playing. Now we've seen a dog doing some dog things in the preseason. Have you seen Mr. Bennett?
I have, man. I mean, Stetson's a gamer, and
Yeah.
he's one of the. I don't want to say he's an all-time great for the
Why wouldn't
university.
you?
Because you're
Back to
talking.
back, back to back champion, man.
I'm just talking about position-wise, right? Like, for sure, he's underrated in what he accomplished, and the way he produced on the field. I don't know if it's his size and fact that he was in college for 8 years, or what it is, but people want to kind of diminish what the man accomplished. And I am, in a way, I guess, doing that as well, just saying that you don't think of him as like an all-time great, right? Like, he's not a Matt Stafford. He doesn't hold records like Aaron Murray, um, you know, Fran Tarkenton,
Does he
and
still hold those?
yeah,
Aaron Murray?
yeah.
Hmm.
So, but in terms of winning, uh, he is one of the winningest quarterbacks in the school history. He's a gamer,
Right.
so I want him to do well in the pros. But man, it's just some of those throws I see him throwing up. I'm like, how did that not get picked off? It's like one receiver and four guys, and they make a catch, and then they win the game, and he's got all the swag, and he's doing Stetson things. It's entertaining. But
If Stetson is the quarterback of and Matt, to be clear, I think Matt Ryan, I see not Matt Ryan, Matt Stafford did return to practice, right? But he had a dicey offseason. If Stetson Bennett is starting in week 17, we win that game. I don't think we lose it. But the Rams are gonna be formidable, bro. Like, their defense is good. They picked up they still have Puka Nakua, but now they have Devontae Adams as probably one of the best number twos in the league. I'm sure he's still got a good bit in the tank. So, um, and I wouldn't mind losing to them a game before we start the playoffs and then beating them in the playoffs is my thinking.
yeah, I mean, I definitely think you make some valid points there. It looks like, just tallying it up, you have our regular season finishing 13-4,
Okay.
and I have us at 12-5. So we're not far off. I think a plus or minus, like, what would your plus minus be if you had to? Well, what would your minus be? I would say. I guess you could say plus. I don't think we get more than 13 wins personally.
Yeah, my minus. I don't think we get more than that. We'll probably be the Washington game.
Just the Washington game.
Washington and I mean at New England.
Mm.
I'm not giving any of those division
So
games away.
we're
I think we can go 5-1 in the division.
worst case. You think we're 11-6?
Yeah, 11-win team.
Worst case, I think we're 10-7, 10-win team going into the playoffs. I think we win in the playoffs. I think if Caleb and Storm come back healthy, uh, Michael Penix is the stud that we think he is, and the defense shows some step improvement. I could see an NFC Championship appearance. I still
The
believe that.
the thing about Caleb McGarry, that is a huge blow, and not having our backup is big as well. But I think you can game plan for having a weaker side with the skill positions that we have, right? With Bijan, obviously you want to run behind Caleb McGarry, but he can run on either side of the field, and they gotta account for that. And then if this is the year of Kyle Pitts, right, you're not gonna be able to have a linebacker that's gonna blitz every time if you had to always account for where Kyle Pitts is. Ideally, you do this year. You haven't had to worry much in his career, but this year, hopefully, you have to account for him and just know where he is and have a body on him.
Yeah, I think where it could really come into play, and you kind of touched on it. We're starting a new center, right? And
Yeah.
now you're talking about your blindside tackle. We didn't run the ball very well in the preseason. Granted, you know,
None of them played.
your primary running back did not see the field, but I still think offensive line is a big, part of the run game. And
Huge. Yeah.
yeah, I could see it hurting Bijan and his success. And if Bijan isn't the guy that you believe he's capable of being and should be, we're not going to win some of these games if Bijan's not, you know, toting the rock, giving us 100+ every game, 2 tutties.
I don't think he got to give us 102 teddies every game. That's crazy. That's MVP numbers.
You
But
you
he
said
is he is
MVP.
he is inevitable. That's what I'll back that up with. Now, that's probably the person that's gonna hurt the most is Bijan, but he's just that good, bro.
He also
He
kept
is
us
that
in
good.
games last year when Kurt was doing
Kurt couldn't throw,
bad
and we
Kurt
shouldn't have had
things,
that situation this year.
and if
He kept us in games where they knew we had no option but to run.
and
Now they have to respect the pass.
even when Michael Penix
But
came in, he was still 60-70% of our offense.
mhm.
So that to me is the scariest part about going into this season is how does it impact Michael Penix, because I know we know that's going to happen, but how is it going to impact Bijan's production?
I think Bijan makes it's a symbiotic relationship between him and the lineman, right? They were and we've lost two of those guys, so it's gonna have a huge impact. But I'm still optimistic about it, just because. Oh man, I'm telling you, Bijan is him, man. Like
He is him.
we got a real stud back there that's gonna do things regardless. Like, do you remember the lines that Barry Sanders was running behind? Right? Any of those linemen? Do you know any of their names? No,
No.
I'm sure none of them made the Hall of Fame. He was doing things that he shouldn't have had to do. Bijan can do those things. He hasn't had to, and he gets the reprieve of a break. All right, he gets a break. He gets a couple plays off because you have that thunder in Tyler Algier that you can still send to the hole to make somebody afraid. Right, like he hit you in your chest a couple times. You don't want to. Not a whole lot of people want to take that abuse, man. Tyler Algier is a dog. Um, I just hold Bijan as an elite running back, whereas Tyler Algier, I think he could definitely be a Pro Bowler, as a starter.
Yeah.
That's a lot to run at you, man. So we're down a lineman. We're gonna be all right, and we're gonna be even better when he comes back. That's what's gonna terrify people.
Yeah, and I mean, Caleb McGarry isn't really known as a pass blocking, specialist. He is known.
Last year was his best year doing it, and before that he was terrible.
Yeah.
Right? We were talking about getting rid of that guy. I'm optimistic, man.
I'm
What
too.
about the Wilkinson kid? Is he a pass pro?
I don't know much about him, but I am glad to know that this won't be his first start, right? He has 45 starts under his belt. He's not a rookie. He's not a young guy. He's seen the league and what the league has to offer. Now, it doesn't give me a whole lot of confidence that he's not a starter caliber player, right? Like, obviously, there's a lot in front of him, but to have some experience is more gives me more comfort than just knowing we're running in there with some, you know, second year, third year player. that hasn't done anything, hasn't really seen the field outside of preseason and practice. So, but yeah, season kicks off September 7th. So we're a full almost 2 weeks away from Falcons football. So a week from Sunday. This episode will probably air Friday, the 29th. So at that time, we'll be about a week from the start of the season. I'm looking forward to it. Should be a
Yeah, give us your picks. We want to hear what y'all think. How far ahead are we, or how far behind? You got us going 16-1, you know, or do you have us going 10-7?
I mean, the
We want to hear from
schedule
y'all.
definitely seems favorable.
It's a brutal start.
It is.
The back half seems okay. But I know that's where I gave our losses, but the first, starting off against the Redskins, then the Bills,
And the Vikings.
um, Minnesota. Yeah, that's tough. That's some tough sledding.
Yeah, absolutely. But with that, man, we appreciate everyone sticking around this long. Hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. We'll just keep coming at you. I look forward to talking some positive football play this season, right? With the Dogs and the Falcons getting it done. So can't wait for the next few weeks, and we appreciate y'all being here.
Catch y'all on the flip side, man. Peace.
Peace.